Oh, yeah. It's a Friday. I'm wearing a purple and black t-shirt, and this is Anytime with Ken and Alden. I'm Alden.
And I'm Ken. Thank you all for coming out to my
Freaky
set
Friday
at the Burbank Comedy Festival this past Sunday. Yeah, we should have done a Freaky Friday tie-in. Damn. Where's our opportunity, Disney?
Damn.
Where's Jamie Lee Curtis on the press tour? I don't think I would want Lindsay Lohan on the show, not because I have any ill feelings toward her. I actually have positive feelings toward her. But I just feel like I don't think Lindsay Lohan enjoys press. However,
no.
Jamie Lee Curtis, she could do press all day. Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't stop talking.
But I think it's not because she enjoys press. She probably loathes it and is just going to be herself to get through it.
Trying to make the most of it for herself.
Yeah. We're here on a Friday. Our regular friends are here. Are you one of our regular friends? That's right. Regular friends. Michael McCarcel. We call him Detective McCarcel. Rich Rodriguez. Sean. Jared the Dark Jedi. David Mackay. Eli, who I saw in person Sunday when he came out to Hot Burbank Nights at Flappers Comedy Club. Thank you, Eli, for supporting. I appreciate that. I heard you and saw you laughing. Not necessarily me, but I saw that.
Yeah, Eli, a man about town there in Los Angeles, popping up at screenings, going to comedy. He's doing what you should be doing in college. You know, that's what I wish that I had been doing at that age, was going to clubs to hang out with Ken Napzok. But
there you go.
Evidently, I missed. I was busy trying to get girls.
You got to go make mistakes.
Yeah, make mistakes. Tully says, "I live." Was there a chance that you didn't live?
But what if Tully's saying "I live"? What if he's saying it like that?
I live. I guess he could be.
I don't know. Like it's
Producer
a catchphrase.
Steve's here. Producer Steve's here. Steve, I saw in a trivia competition that I was on the desk for. This past weekend, Steve made his Star Wars trivia debut.
How do you do?
And it was a joy. Steve, you went like a couple rounds, I think, maybe 2 or 3 rounds. I can't remember. It was a very, very fun match. Glad to have Steve there. They didn't ask Jedi Academy questions, which would have been his strength, obviously. It was the anti-Steve agenda, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if he didn't have a good showing, he misrepresented the blathering, he might have been off the show.
Yeah. Okay, you got some questions right. You did get some questions right. That was fun. That's in Eli's trivia league on the Indie Galaxy channel, Epic Competitions. Check that out. Of which I am the singles champion, because you remember how that was. You've been a champion in Star Wars trivia before in a different life.
Briefly, yeah. Big show today. Meaning I don't know what's coming our way, but we do have. We do have this main topic. We can continue to banter. I'm just feeling broadcastery today, Alden. I'm just feeling like breaking news. Andrew Cuomo, who is of the Cuomo political empire, and I'll say this up top, regardless of the in the weeds of the politics, I was a Mario Cuomo fan because he was a former baseball player, and he's in the Ken Burns baseball doc. And he's wonderful in it. And so I've always had just a warmth in my heart for him. Again, regardless of the issues, and maybe if I dug in, I wouldn't. I don't know, Alden. I'm just saying I've always Mario Cuomo. He's a local boy. He played ball, and you got his kids out here. Wow.
His kids, and it's 2 men with gray hair. I just love that it's like Mario's boys. Ruining the whole thing, and it's an old man.
Yeah, Mario's long gone. He's long gone.
It reminds me of when Elizabeth died and Charles became king. John Oliver had referred to him as the world's oldest son. Like, that's how I feel about Cuomo invoking his dad and his grandma on Twitter in that attempt to cut a promo on Zoran Mamdani. We're going to talk about Zoran flexing on him with that incredible campaign ad. And I threw this at you as the main topic, mostly because, not because we're going to like analyze the Cuomo Epstein link, which is obviously news, but, you know, analyzing his approach or breaking down the lies or breaking down the harassments. Like, that's all there. I just mean more conceptually, it humors me that somebody that could lose so badly is still acting like it's close at all.
Looking at the Siena College poll released on Tuesday of this week, Alden. So this isn't month-old news. This is this week. Mamdani leading by 19 points. 19. I'm choking on the lead.
19 points, and we are months away from this, and he's gained that much on them already.
Now, look, we don't want to rest our laurels on polls. Get out there if you're in that election out there. If you could vote, get there. But Mamdani leading 44%, 25%. Guardian Angel Curtis Silva 12%, and then the incumbent mayor Eric Adams 7%. He's taking pictures off the wall in the office. Eric Adams has got to be packing up.
But that's the thing, is that he's disconnected from reality. So he should be packing, but I think in his mind he thinks that he can pull it out. It's fascinating. I truly don't understand. I mean, there's a lot of people at fault here. I don't understand the mentality of Cuomo himself. I don't understand the mentality of the people on his staff. I don't understand the mentality of Hakeem Jeffries and the media that are acting like this is serious. Like, he launched this whole what feels like the new strategy, the new main talking point, which is Zohran Mamdani lives with his wife in Astoria in a $2,300 rent controlled 1-bedroom, which when you say that to me, and you could tell me if you have a different first reaction. To me, I'm like, that reinforces what he's saying. That reinforces Mamdani's point that someone who's doing all right is in rent control at $2,300. That's your rent control for a 1-bedroom, and that's supposed to be awesome. And he's trying to spin this like Mamdani is like taking from someone that could really be in need and blah blah blah. But it's causing this now position of like these corporate Dems that they're coming out like against rent control, but they don't really know how to articulate it because what they really want, it's one of those things where it's like they have nothing, and so they have to make something up. But in that, it makes them look like idiots, and it's proving Zohran's point. And all Zohran has to do is smile and get his much better strategy of saying true things, which is what got him here in the first place. And it's like watching elder abuse at this point, but the elder is what's causing his own abuse.
It's the old Kids in the Hall beat from, I think, Sketches and the movie. Stay down! And Bruce McCullough just keeps getting back up to be punched in the face. Stay down!
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
What is... I told you in our text this week, I have not been following along as much this week or the week prior over this this current political storyline. What is the attempt with the you live in a rent control apartment? What do we think they're trying to accomplish? Explain to me like I'm dumb. Also, I'm dumb.
Explain to me like I'm dumb, and then consider that I might be. The whole approach seems to be: can the Cuomo team try to spin him as the actual progressive? Right? They want to make Mamdani seem like a fraud for being in a rent controlled place. Doing two things. One, painting Mamdani like he's taking advantage of a system and taking up a spot that could be for a poor family.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the second thing is, in doing so, try to make Andrew Cuomo seem like a progressive to try to get some of the youths that clearly hate him. And the reason why number two is even funnier is because he comes out, and in addition to the rent control thing, his secondary point was, well, I'm more experienced than you, and I'm the only one of us that has supported a bill authored by Bernie Sanders. So I supported Sanders on something. So doesn't that mean that I'm progressive? And then Sanders, Bernie comes out and quote tweets that and is like, yeah, I support Zohran. So it's just like, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that they got their asses beat. And also, this is just wider. If you get your ass beat and you concede, you should not be allowed to keep going. if you want to get your ass beat and never concede and keep going, I actually do kind of respect that. You can have your own little, you know, they're going to have to kill me to beat me. Like, that's fine. You can do that. You can tough it out. But don't do a concession speech, admit that he beat you, and then, you know, sit on it for a couple days and start doing all this. This is embarrassing.
I mean, it's fuel for great wrestling promos, which we'll talk about Mom Donnie's videos. But yeah, so okay, so you've explained it. The thought being, well, if you're so progressive, why are you taking up a spot for a poor person, as opposed to realizing that even someone like Mom Donnie is a poor person under the system in which we live.
Relatively. And he's what is his actual position right now? A local. He's a councilman, or I forget what his job title is at the moment.
I always guess comptroller, because that's always the
that's Lander
title to hell.
That's Brad Lander. He is the comptroller, but
he is a New York State representative. Just
New York State rep. So he's a state rep, and this is his situation. But you even at like AOC talks about how, like, what she makes, what she doesn't make. That she's it's hard. They don't make a lot of money, so it's like this idea that this rich man, Andrew Cuomo, with ties to Epstein, who's doing, as Zoran illustrated in the ad, stock schemes and paying himself as the sole, proprietor of his innovation with innovation solutions. Like, it just sounds like a sham. It sounds like a front.
Sounds like an LLC. You start to hide stuff. Yep.
Yeah, Jared from the Nerd Academy pointed it out here, where it's like the neoliberals love nothing more than crying champagne socialist at a socialist who simply lives under capitalism. Yes, it's like Zoran's like, the system is wrong, and here's some details about my life, and then Cuomo's strategy is, look at his life, and it's like, yeah. I said it. Yeah, it's yes, we're gonna change this. It should not be this way for me or anyone. But they can't process that. They can't comprehend that.
Now, I'll ask this question. I saw Rich Rodriguez post this. All right, not gonna lie, as a native New Yorker now living in neighboring New Haven, Connecticut, I'm worried about Trump, Musk, Adams, Cuomo, some weird combination stealing the election. Always possible. Shenanigans going on. But I put that in a blender and serve it up to you, Alden. What is your level of hope right now that he takes us across the finish line? And what would that mean to you?
I'm trying to not feel hope. I'm trying to enjoy reveling in every Zoran victory. Every time he embarrasses Andrew Cuomo, I absorb that energy. I absorb it like I'm Palpatine. And I'm just I love the
socialist Galactus.
Yes, 100%. My hunger is never satisfied. And when he released that attack ad, man, I was over the moon. I was over the moon. I was at the day job. I watched it like 3 times. I was so happy. I could have done a trailer reaction to that ad. And it was maybe that's a space no one's carved out. Political ad reactions.
Maybe.
Combine two of the most annoying corners of the internet.
Do it right here.
One super project. We'll do it right now.
This is what you should be doing on your Saturday mornings, right here in the channel.
I know. I should be watching political ads and critiquing the strategy from the everyman's point of view. Nobody steal that. That could actually be something. But it is, so it's like that.
Eli says Pod Save America has ideas done. Ruined.
Oh, well. If Pod Save America did it,
you can still do it.
Isn't that the other Jon Favreau, the non cool one? Yeah,
but it's spelled the same name. It's just you guys got to choose one. Same. You got to brand that differently. Yeah.
Favreau gave us Grogu, so he should be able to keep the name. The Pod Save America hasn't given me anything as good as that. So, but yeah, so like I find joy, I find humor, I find inspiration personally, and vindication in feeling like, isn't it amazing that somebody is finally doing the obvious things? Because there have been players that have come along that we've really, really liked for various reasons. AOC probably being the biggest name of her generation that's come through. But she has also never, like, gloves off, tried to, like, actually destroy her enemy, whoever that may be. Maybe that's because she didn't have to in her race. Like, you could make arguments of why. And now that she's way more of a prominent player, you know, she's had probably her first notable stumble recently with, you know, what was happening with Israel and Iron Dome, and her language was getting really shoddy. And like, she has now ascended to the level of, you can no longer be clean, and like, the bigger you are, the more you piss people off. And like, so her path is different, but Zoran is still at this like startup phase where he's defining how the rest of it's going to go. And nobody at this early phase has ever announced themselves as a fighter like this, despite my generation begging for somebody to just fight, especially when material is just handed to you the way it is with some of these old men. Like, you are a pervert. It's not my opinion that you're a pervert. You are. Like, you subpoenaed for people's like fucking health records in the wake of your sexual harassment, trying to talk to gynecologists and stuff. Like, you are a weirdo, period. And you're allowed to run again. One is embarrassing, but that's an American problem, as we have seen at the highest of levels, that there is absolutely no standard for who's allowed to have these jobs whatsoever. But it's heartening to see him actually say, I don't have respect for this man. He is unlikable. I am going to punish and embarrass him for his behavior. That galvanizes me. Does it? But do I allow myself to hope and celebrate early? No, because I've been down this road a bunch of times, and I've seen what the corporate Dems are capable of. I've seen them on the presidential level, down to the local level. I've seen them here with the Florida governor stuff that happened with, because Florida has, you know, the long history, obviously, of these close votes and everything, and these controversies and these conspiracies. But when DeSantis ran against Gillum down here, it got also within recounts reach, but it's like, I don't, with these like obvious criminals, it's like, who knows? Like, we're in a worse spot. Like, people talk about, oh, Newsom 2028, is it going to happen? And it's like, that's not really like my concern with 28. My concern with 28 is if it's going to be a sham or not at this point. So we have more concerns. So I don't think, like, will the New York mayor election get stolen? I'm not going to go that far without evidence, but I do think later this year, you know, come October, we're going to have Donald Trump in New York City actively trying to stop this. Like, I don't know if he's going to try to federalize and do the shit that he's threatened, but I do think he'll be like acting like he's running. And like, just doing anti-Zoran rallies and things, and blah, 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 blah. Now, who's going to be his ally? Like, that's where it puts Andrew Cuomo in a spot where it's like, okay, now what do I do? Because I'm running independent, but I tried to run Dem. Do I now side with the Klan to try and, like, it's just
to get power?
Yeah, it's a whole thing. And does that hurt or help him? Then where does that put, you know, the cowards like Jeffries, who his latest on Zoran was the, you know, he's going to have to address the rent control thing. And, you know, he also said that he needs to, his campaign is going to have to work to hit a broader coalition of people, especially, and he goes, especially from some neighborhoods in my district. And it's like, he won your fucking district. He won it.
Right.
What are you talking about? So really, it's a combination of less about like the Trumpness and everything.
Sure.
But it's Trump barking from over here, but it's really Zoran versus really his own and APAC in New York is what it is. Obviously, the competition is nothing. You said like what, 19 points?
Almost,
like,
almost
competition's
20.
over. Yeah. It's just a matter of like, will the Democrats do to Zoran what they did to Bernie Sanders? You know, is there going to be an Obama phone call that rolls through where Obama says, this is what we're doing? Because, you know, if he's not producing shit for Netflix, he just rears his head once in a while to play Kingmaker. And I don't know. I really don't know.
No. Yeah. Asked, answered. Makes all sense to me. It's the call coming from inside the house. That's the bigger worry right now. Yeah, and it's just been fascinating to watch it play out from my perspective, and watch, again, another person, a younger person who's inside. You know, he knows the government. He isn't running as I was the bartender, now I'm this, which, you know, was the narrative around AOC, even though she had gone to school and well-studied, and that was her survival job, and they tried to turn that against her, and it became part of what I think she won with. It's just fascinating to watch it and watch the old guard who it's so used to playing within the system, rigged or not, just playing, and this is what we do. And here you got someone breaking it. This is why we like Kat Abou-Ghazaleh over in Illinois. Whether or not she went or not, she's a little less in the polls. Was climbing, had some momentum. I don't know the current polls. I just tried to look them up. But it's, for me, I keep repeating this thing. It's just been fun to watch. Fun is a quote around a very serious, unstable world. But it's been that's the joy I get out of it. Of him reaching people across many spectrums with just these truths. And he hasn't stepped in it yet, meaning what I mean by that, meaning he's painted a certain picture, this broad stroke of socialist, and we know what that does to people. We know it scared. I scared me for years because I was always taught that, well, look at your grandparents and look what they faced under socialism and communism. They had to fight for food on the shelves, and all those kind of things are painted in these broad strokes. And then he could say something that would feed into that unintentionally, and that makes those folks, or the people that I grew up with, all scared. He's busting past that to me. That promo he cut, we keep calling it a promo because it was a wrestling promo. I think does break through all those walls. Jeffries, Hakeem, I think he is doing what you think he needs to do. You just don't want to face it.
Yeah, and he's acknowledging also the broader context, but also in a funny, accessible way. It's charming. It's something that it's not going to confuse anyone over the age of 40, but it is obviously edited by people in their 20s. It hits a very particular sweet spot, because sometimes people try to young up their stuff and it comes off as very stupid, and it's like, okay, well, how's my dad going to even connect with this? That's part of the problem with social media management that we've seen, where it just goes from how can we be relevant turns into let's be stupid really fast. And he does not have that. His team they're really, really good.
Really good. I know what you mean too. It's like, what's the current trend? Let's have Biden on a skateboard listening to Fleetwood Mac drinking Ocean Spray.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac Ocean Spray reference just sent me. When was that? That feels like it was 10 years ago, but I know it was recent.
2 years ago.
Oh my God. That was a brief moment in time that I enjoyed. That was something. That was something that we had.
Didn't that guy get rich? God bless him.
Yeah. No, it was bad. Yeah. So that's I was very heartened by that. So again, it's that balance of I don't want to be hopeful because I've been screwed so much, but at the same time, he's just doing everything right. And that ad is vicious, but it's vicious on someone who deserves it, which I think is something that we haven't even they won't even treat Trump that way. Right.
Do you think it's vicious in a way that, I think the answer is yes, but it's not an attack ad like those classic if you go to a bar in any place in America, I don't like politicians and all them negative ads and all that kind of stuff, which over the years have defined many traditional political elections. This one did not seem that. It seems like, I'll say your generation in a general sense, Alden. I'm not putting you into any specific generation, but the younger youths, it's just an authentic approach to things that my generation and above struggles with because we're so used to nightly news, Walter Cronkite, the systems, decorum, and he's negative attack ads. This is just someone going, hey, here's the truth.
Yeah.
That's not an attack. It's the truth.
It just feels like we're presenting facts. We're doing it in a charming way. And we're asking, we're doing what people say they're doing when they're really not. I'm just asking questions. Zoran can do I'm just asking you questions, man. I know this about you. I know this about you. I know this about you. So what's what? What's the deal? What are you hiding? What are you not telling us? Yeah. And that's smart. It's really smart. And I think, but I don't understand fundamentally the psychology of this shriveled up old perv just not throwing in the towel, just not getting worse, getting more embarrassing. And at the end of the ad, Zoran calls him Habibi. And so then on Twitter, Cuomo's like calling him paisan with one of these emojis. And it's just like, dude, stop trying to do my shit, but worse. Stop trying to, like, this is gimmick infringement. This is joke theft.
But
this is like, this is so bad.
This needs to be a drop because we do it often here, but it is now tucka from Austin Powers.
Yes, it is.
It's
so stupid. It's very frustrating. Like, it's more offensive to me that he's trying to also do some of the same bits than it is that he like keeps going. Like, it's really embarrassing. Like, whoever's running that campaign, I'm not this person should be fired, but like they definitely should not be in that position. They don't have it. Yeah. Whatever it is, they do not have it.
I get it, man. I get it. I'm just speaking from my own experience where I have trouble pulling up a camera and just being quote unquote authentic because everything to me is a performance, right? Everything is a performance. Because if you're not, you're not a professional in my view, and that's changed, and I struggle to adapt to it. So I'm only just seeing that on an exploded worldwide level. Now here it is with these two people running for office, and it's fascinating to watch, though also too fascinating because so much hangs in the balance.
Yeah. So that's really what I wanted to lead with. I wanted to talk about that. We're going to talk about a few other things. I have some stuff written down.
I love it because I don't have any idea what you got.
I scribbled some things down during the week. One of them, let's stay political for a minute. That way we're not bouncing back and forth in and out of it.
Okay.
I want to talk about your governor for a second, Gavin.
Okay.
Deeply frustrating individual. And, we've talked about him here before, just like, laying it all out there. Caveats, just so people know where I personally stand on him, which is that he frustrates me because I do think that he is grifty. I think the podcast is a grift. I think it's irresponsible. I think he was very quick to jump to throwing trans folks under the bus and unhoused folks under the bus, but then immediately loves to talk about how Republicans go after the marginalized and blah, blah. So he's a little bit hypocritical, or a lot of bit hypocritical, and he frustrates me. And I just want to put that out there because I'm not focusing on that. I don't want anyone to think that this is like a Newsom ad. The reason why I want to talk about him is because it frustrates me so much that he's the only one on the potential guy level, the potential main eventers, that kind of run a Zoran-esque playbook. And I'm like, why is this guy the only one that seems capable of this? Like, why can't I have it all on the POTUS level? Like, Zoran's going to be mayor of New York, and that's huge, right? Like, I don't want to downplay that. That's really big.
Biggest city in the world.
But it's like nobody that could be president or that is in that conversation is capable of taking their gloves off, except, as Eli from In a Galaxy calls him, Governor Television. Like, it frustrates me that he has all the tools, but still annoys the shit out of me. And admittedly, sometimes his like media work does work on me. Like, it happened this week with his whole, they're sending guys with masks and guns, the border patrol people, to his press conference, and he immediately stands his ground and says, I'm not going to be intimidated by this bullshit. I'm going to we'll get to fight fire with fire and this, that. Like, he says all the right things, and I fall for it for like a second, and then I remember all the reasons that he frustrates me. But the stuff that he's been doing online, it's in the chat, mentioned, like, he's been tweeting in all caps and
the parody
making fun of Donald. Parodies, like, how are you feeling about him? Not necessarily 2028, but just like, is it possible to redeem him? Like, because I feel like he constantly is like alternating between Gavin will never be president and he might be the only pick, and there's like no in between.
Here's my thought on why he's successful in the way he is. And those parody tweets this week, pitch perfect. We'll get into that. It is not unlike, I'm going to center it on myself because I'm a comic and I'm egocentric, Alden.
Yes.
Some of my career struggles, I've had conversations with friends, and they're like, look, you're just not a sociopath enough to succeed in this current world. Meaning not every thought you have is put on a post, a reel, a clip. You can't pull out your camera and just, hey guys, you don't. You don't have that. The people that do are succeeding. You have to be a little sociopathic. I think he's sociopathic, and so many other people are probably, you know, I don't have a politician in mind, but if you were to sit a politician down and be like, "Would you like to start a podcast and bring these people on?" Oh no, absolutely not. I wouldn't want to do that. Newsom's like, great idea. Get Steve Bannon on, and. Would you like to do now this might change with the younger generation, but based on what we just talked, let's put some parody posts out there, but also speak the truth. Oh yeah, great, all caps, let's do it. Let's just totally mock the false prophet in office. Let's do this. I don't think that's what I think other people might lack. My opinion. Maybe. And that's why he's in the position. So
yeah, it could be that makes sense that he has what it takes to be that malleable, I believe what I have to believe in the moment type stuff. Like there's a part of him that clearly enjoys life under Trump because it gives him TV time and the opportunity to be clever and the opportunity to roll up his sleeves. And that's what I mean. Like, you know, this comment here from Eli that he's not running a Zoran campaign. Yeah, I don't think that he's running a Zoran campaign in terms of content, in terms of bullet points. I'm saying he's the only one that treats the enemy the way that Zoran is treating Andrew Cuomo. Like Kamala did not do attacks at all. She stood firm and would refute some of the lies, you know, like she did like the bare necessities and the basics of what needed to be done. But nobody is out there, you know, using cuss words, going after them, rolling up their sleeves, actively talking about fascism, talking about authoritarianism, you know, having goons show up and saying you're not going to intimidate me and just like flexing and stuff like that.
And he's tremendously well spoken.
He's very well spoken.
Yeah.
He's got that. He's like a West Wing character come to life.
Yep. He's frustrated. He's good looking. Yep. Yeah. As far as the other stuff, I don't know. It's all personal. You know, it's a very personal answer for me. Yeah. Why are you all worried about some of the weeds? Just let them fight. Yeah. And that's, I live in Los Angeles, man, and I have this joke going, and people, I don't think people believe me. I'm 2 months away from having to maybe move into a hotel and not having a permanent residence. I really am. That's not a joke. I'm stressed every night trying to figure this out. At the same time, the answer to homelessness is you know, it's economic, it's capitalism, it's all these things. I live in Los Angeles. I don't know anyone here in chat other than you that lives in Los Angeles. You couldn't walk into some old neighborhoods that I lived in. You couldn't do it anymore. You would catch a disease. You'd be poked with a syringe. It was bad. It's really bad. I don't have the answer. Karen Bass might not have the answer. There's houses not being, low-income houses not being used. You hear all these stories. Newsom doesn't have the answer. What Newsom did was horrible. But I know a lot of people in my life who are thankful for what he did. And I'm not saying it's right. I want you to be clear. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying a lot of people who are like, hey, can you believe what he did? And a lot of my friends were like, thank God he did. And I can now drive in some of the areas. Now, it's swept under the rug. Who's these poor people? Who knows what's going on with them? Again, I might be looking for the same underpasses.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like, don't get hung up on it. Let him fight. I don't want him to be the president.
And that's ultimately, that's sort of where I came down at the other day talking to some friends. Maybe it was last night. I can't remember. The days all blur together. But I was saying, like, it is frustrating that he is these things and does these things. But at the same time, we need to aim him. We need, like, there are certain weapons that we allow to exist. And it's that's the lefty curse, ultimately. Is the whole,
because you're not because you're not sociopathic. Well, maybe.
And we think about this too much, and you know, and I think sometimes like the purity test language gets thrown around. Bad faith, but sometimes it does apply. Like, I think that sometimes like neo-libs and like more centrists love to throw that around when they don't want you bringing up stuff that is valid.
That's tough for them to answer. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. But on the flip, there is you can't have more smoke for Gavin Newsom than you do for Donald Trump. Like that falls into the
seems right.
and you and I've heard this from people in our lives. The whole like, well, it was the same thing under Biden. It was worse under Biden. It's like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, not even gonna go. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go into it because it's personal.
Yeah. No one needs to be named or identified. But it's just that sentiment is like, that's the flip where it's like, okay, well, and like you're gonna tell me with a straight face it's the same right now? No, it's not.
Yeah,
and that's
the thing, and you know, the trans and sports issue, the number one issue of our time. Like, now's not the time for nuance. Now's the time to support transgender people and the right to exist. If you're worried about a boxing match, all right, maybe we have that conversation in 5-10 years. Now's not the time, right? Yeah. And I think that's part of what Phil's grifty, or he's going to chase that. And I don't think that any of the criticism against him is wrong. And again, including the issue of homelessness in my city and the state and San Francisco, it's bad, but it's not a criminal issue. It's an economic, and we can sit there all day. But I just, to me, again, this is so personal. I'm just like, let that fucking sociopath get in the ring, throw hammers at Trump, and just see what happens. Because I don't know if going to Big Ten philosophy, I don't know if it's working on those. I think it just inflames people I know who already supporting Trump. It just makes them support Trump more. I don't know what, as you and I have discussed, I don't know what changes the heart. I don't know if we need to change the heart. I don't know. But as far as him, just let it ride. Personal take on it. Let it ride. Because I live in this state, and I got no problem with him.
Yeah, I hope that it escalates. That's my hope. I genuinely hope that this time next week, Newsom's at the podium calling him a pedophile. Like, I hope it just goes.
Well, go.
Yeah.
Go for it. So even then, you're holding back Governor Taylor.
Yeah.
Even then.
There's still ground.
You should be calling him Epstein's buddy, right?
Yep.
If you open that door,
ground to cover. There's still blood to be drawn from this, and again, it just being 29 and my first election being 16. It just feels like just the fact that we're in 2025 and we're still having how do you talk about this conversations, how do you fight this man conversations, is so embarrassing that I think that there's going to be obviously decades long ramifications in real ways. This SCOTUS is going to have a 50-year effect, no doubt, on everything that's happening, at least. But I also think culturally, what we're witnessing here is that my children and my children's children, hypothetically speaking, my generation's children.
You can't afford children. Stop that.
Yeah, no, I don't know why I'm pretend for a second like I can. It's like that. I do think we're a generation, maybe 2 generations away from absolute zero. We're already pretty much there, but we felt conned, right? We thought people above us kind of knew what they were doing.
Sure.
That the system would fix this. Now it's all exposed. There is no system. Most of this country was built on the honor system. Evidently, you could just ignore stuff. That's what Jon Stewart has focused on a couple times, on Weekly Show, where he's the Democrats are we can't do X because the parliamentarian said no. And the Republicans don't know who the parliamentarian is. They're fuck the parliamentarian. We don't care. Who cares? We don't have to ask them. With that being the flavor, with the Newsom Trump being the flavor, with Cuomo Zoran being the flavor, I don't think there's going to be any long-term respect or parameters or definitions what a politician looks like, if that makes sense. It's almost the representation in this country, it was farmers, and blah blah blah, and they sent someone to the Capitol, and we all know why it exists. I could see feasibly a return more toward anyone is there might be 30 John Fettermans down the road. Hopefully not ideologically, but there might just be guys in hoodies.
Careful.
There might just be your local neighborhood pervert is a city councilman now. It's
that's actually
it might
probably
all be
true.
destructed. Yeah, it feels like it's just all coming undone because we can't even handle the most obvious con man of all time. This guy's not even good at it. Yeah. He's not even good at the lies. We haven't encountered a Trumpian politician who's good at this. And we're not ready for that. We can't handle it. And so it's all going to, I think, going to come undone. And for the Democrats' sake, that might be a good thing. They might need to be destroyed and rebuilt. I don't know.
I don't have a problem with that either. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm good with that.
Bigger conceptual things.
Yeah. No. But yeah, that's you asked, I'll answer honestly about the governor.
Just curious where your head's at on him, because I feel like even though he's been written off a lot as a 2028 candidate, and
we don't want it. We want someone more. I won't say perfect. We want someone different. Yeah,
because we don't want him, and we want someone that will do the fucking basic shit, like not throw people under the bus. But every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, oh, they're gonna pick him, aren't they? Like it starts to bubble up in my brain. They're gonna run Kamala Gavin as a ticket, and
you think they do that?
Maybe
she's gonna write a book and sail off into Catalina.
She wants to be available.
Without running for governor.
She wants to keep her schedule open. All right. Let's move on from this stuff. Let's move on from all this shit. I have a couple things written down here. One, very quickly, because we addressed it previously on the show. This is a follow-up story to an earlier episode of Anytime with Ken and Alden. Hall & Oates have settled their legal issues. So, Daryl Hall, I invited you on the show to talk about this. Now you don't have to come anymore because you settled it without us. So it's over. They're back. They're back to being friends, I guess. I don't know.
They're back on stage? Like, what is this? See, I
they're back on stage. The legal battle over their business relationship that resulted in the restraining orders and all that, that's done.
That's amazing to me. Like, cause it's a plot point in Hacks, right? I can go for that. David, that's close to wordplay, Makai. That's good use of songs lyrics there. It's a plot point in Hacks, right, with the lawsuit and stuff. And I just I've never been sued,
Neither have I.
Especially in this capacity. But if you were to sue me, Alden,
yes,
and you want the 2 cents that's in this empire, great, and then it's settled, and you get 1 cent. We're not. Love you. We're not working again. We're not even nothing. And that's why I wanted to clarify. Are they? I get they settled the dispute, but if I couldn't be back on stage.
Fascinating, right?
Singing Man.
I mean, another episode of Anytime. Another time we'll go on a little wrestling tangent for a second. Being lifelong wrestling fans, we've seen this behavior, right? The behavior that you're discussing that you wouldn't do. Wrestling industry is like, you know what? Sable going back, Brett going back, Warrior going back. Like, wrestling is the business where you can ruin someone's life and put them into financial duress and ruin their reputation and make them unemployable. And then enough time goes by, you get the phone call and they show up. Like it's just that mentality, I think, trickles out into the arts a little bit.
I guess. Yeah. No, look, and maybe I haven't faced this in the stand-up world, but it's like, I don't know, like things happen and clubs and comics get into disputes and everything like that. I don't know. I'm trying to think, but the wrestling one's a good example because to me, there's a difference between Vince calling Bischoff and saying, well, here, come, let's make money together. There's a difference between that and Paul Heyman, who, if you came up in the 90s like I did watch wrestling, the fact that Paul Heyman's in WWE right now and is part of their structure, like, that's mind-blowing to me. But it's different than what you're talking about with Sable, who sued, Warrior, who sued, like, all it. And, I'm all for reconciliations. You and I could work our way back together. But and there's people I know who I have long held tensions with that I don't want to work with again. But if I see them, we're fine. Yeah. But there's also not been lawyers involved.
Right. You've had some, in as much as you're comfortable saying you don't have to name names, but what was the worst creative breakup that you've had? Like how? Like you said there were no lawyers, but have you stormed off a set and been like, I'm not doing this anymore? Or was it more slow breakups that happened over time? Like
slow Cold War. Cold War, just me, and some of it's like I'll take the blame for maybe could have solved it earlier, but solved it meaning walked off or come to a hey, this isn't no longer what we want to do together or something like that. But no, I haven't had. I mean, other than getting laid off, that was kind of a way.
Yeah, but it's never been nasty enough though to cease communication. Wholly.
I mean, I keep it. There's only a couple that I'd say, but that I don't talk to or want to or block. But the other one's like it's just like there's a friendship there. There's a history. So even if things don't kind of work out, maybe you can kind of come to. I'm always there for open doors. Without naming names.
Maybe that's going to be Hall & Oates. Maybe they arrived. Maybe they realized the lawsuit was too much. Yeah, I don't know. It was on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. He had Mulaney on, and they were talking about how they should sue each other, like how it's always like a great creative like history is not complete without an inner team legal battle over some like. Well, I was in the room when that was written, so it's like I deserve co-songwriting credit on this. I think they were talking about the Eagles documentary, or one of the Eagles documentaries.
I mean, Hell Freezes. I mean, that's fascinating. I mean, it's fascinating in music. I don't know. They're not the first to sue each other, and I mean, Lennon and McCartney hating each other, and this stuff is all real. You're reading that SNL book I recommended, and the first 5 years are absolutely full of these kind of traumas and fights and everything. Time
Lauren has. I'm on chapter 12 or 13, and Lauren has quit twice already. People just don't take it serious because they know that he's just angry, and they just
How far into so for those I recommended a book called Saturday Night, the history of the backstage history of SNL. Focuses on the first 5 years. It was an out of print book for a long time. It kind of came back. They did a special version with 1985 and Lauren's return. Now you even told me there's an updated audio version with 50th anniversary thoughts. But the first 5 years SNL tumultuous, different time, drug fueled in a way that maybe can't even be comprehended. But have you gotten as far as Aykroyd's explosion in the offices?
Not yet. We're still. They've done a few episodes. They got through Rob Reiner, and they.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't. Sorry, I cut you off. You haven't gone live to New Orleans yet.
No, not yet.
Oh,
they have teased it. The book is really good about teasing.
Amazing. Yeah.
The book's really good about teasing. One thing they said was like when Dick Ebersol got his credit on the first episode.
Yep.
And the chapter ends, and it's like. And neither Lorne or Ebersol realized the implications of what had just happened. Like there's so many little things.
We need a good.
So what we're coming down on here is that we need a good lawsuit in this friend group.
Yeah. Anytime needs a lawsuit. And check back with me after you read the post New Orleans Aykroyd meltdown.
I'm excited.
It's amazing.
I'm very excited.
It's amazing. I'm curious what it does to your view on Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd. Also, I invite you on this show. You can come in after Daryl Hall. Now that Daryl Hall's out,
I'd written my character's father in the series Grasping at Straws. I wrote an episode, and my father was going to be. We wanted Dan Aykroyd to play my father. That was my dream.
I could see that actually,
yeah,
and I would very much enjoy it. Have you ever met Dan Aykroyd?
I have not. No, I have not. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to.
Yeah. That's what. That's a topic I didn't plan, but I like that. The never meet your heroes is said, and a lot of the times, thankfully, the opposite is true. A lot of the times, it's good to meet them, and like it can be really sweet, it can be really lovely. But the phrase does exist for a reason because I haven't had this yet. I haven't had the crushing, disappointing one yet. Have you? And follow-up question is there somebody still, with the experience that you've had, you're here, you're in your 40s, you don't have like child eye wonder about things anymore, but like, is there still someone that you're like, I really want to meet them, that would make you feel like a fan again?
Yeah. Amelia Clark. No,
the new clip is good. The new clip's really good.
Thank you. Full version out Saturday. The only one I've come close to is Roddy Piper, who was absolutely divine and was in the final stages of his life. No one knew, I met him in 2010. He passed away in 2015 of the heart attack. But he was in a let me give back to society phase of his life, and it was wonderful and warm, and he was amazing. I had nothing but great things to say about my time around Roddy Piper. Yeah, it's Steve Martin, which I guess now means Martin Short, which Martin Short would be an answer too. But Steve Martin is, and there's so many stories. I know someone who knew someone that dated him and was kind of the shop girl of Shop Girl.
Oh, really?
Fascinating stuff there. But every account of people I do know who've been around him are warm, wonderful, maybe distant in a good way, and boring in a good way.
Yeah. And happy belated. Steve turned 80 this week. This is the first episode he turned 80 this week. And you know what? I coincidentally watched The Jerk on Sunday.
I saw you posted that on Letterboxd.
Yes, I watched The Jerk. I hadn't seen The Jerk since I was a child. Like, I mean, a child. And so I saw that it was on Netflix. It was like, leaving soon, The Jerk. I was like, I had that feeling of like, if I watch this and it's aged poorly, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be so disappointed. And it's still so good. That movie is there are like maybe 2 or 3 things that are of the time that you just kind of put in the box of that's of the time. But like I'm telling you, man, laughed out loud at jokes I knew. Like jokes I knew were coming. Like he hates these cans. Like there are things that I'm like,
the new phone book's here. The blowjob joke is the best. The blowjob joke's the best.
Oh, it's wild. Like it's like legitimately so sharp, and like you can see it's one of those like it's like finding like the Rosetta Stone of like a whole language. Like you sort of are like, oh, everyone has lifted that, if not that text, that idea, like that tone. Like when the hitman finds him later and is like, oh no, I don't kill people anymore. I was just going through something. I'm here to deliver you this letter. Like that's humor that still lands. Like that could be like in a YouTube sketch, you know?
Yes. It probably is. Fantastic. It probably is somewhere. You know, somewhere. Fantastic. What heroes have you not met yet?
See, I'm in the interesting position of having had a couple ruined just by the nature of my age. Like being a Harry Potter kid, had you talked to me like in high school or even like right after high school, it obviously would have been J.K. Rowling would have been one of them, as she was for a lot of us. That's obviously that's an hour-long conversation that I don't need to explain to our listenership. That was one. Joss Whedon was another one. Another one in the bin.
And I met him. Yeah.
I feel like at this point, I mean, George Lucas is that one, and you might agree with me on this, where it's like, I would obviously, there's zero chance would I say no if someone was like, hey, Alden, George is up the road. Do you want to go meet George? Hell yeah, I'm out the door immediately. But I almost have a piece about not meeting him where I'm almost like, my mythology of him is so palpable in my brain that it gives me what I need. And if I met him, I would not want to discuss Star Wars at all. I would love way more to know, like, what's the last film that really made you laugh? You know, what albums do you listen to regularly? Is there anywhere that you want to travel that you still haven't seen? Like, there are a lot of old guy questions that I would like to ask him.
That's fascinating. I don't know if I want
George is one. I mean, there are some people actors. I would love to meet Robert Downey Jr. at some point. A lot of people, obviously, I'm a nerd, so it's like I like Marvel and everything, but a lot of people don't realize that I was like the Robert Downey Jr. equivalent of like a Taylor Swift fan. But I was like in middle school and high school, like I knew like the way you were about the Beatles and like how you say you don't remember some of it. I kind of have that with him, where it's like I knew everything. I've seen every Robert Downey Jr. performance. Period. I've seen them all,
including Air America.
I've seen America. I've seen Pound. I've seen Bowfinger. I've seen Mixed Nuts. I've seen Home for the Holidays.
Home for the Holidays is
about.
great. Yeah.
That's a great one. I've seen Fur, The Imaginary Portrait of Deanne Arbus.
What's the one with Heather Graham and someone else, and they're in a house or a room the entire movie?
Oh, it's the what's it called? You said Room, and it makes me want to say
The Room.
No. But I know that's not but Room. It's called. Hold on. It's not the one where they make the
Two girls and a guy. Two girls and a guy.
Yeah, that's the that's the one where they make the.
Oh, it's Natasha Gregson Wagner. Oh, yeah. What a late '90s reference there.
Where's she been?
High Fidelity.
Natasha Gregson Wagner is, and she was in Lost Highway. Yeah, that's a peak '90s career right there. She hasn't done much since 2020. I guess some people. It's genuinely fascinating when you look at an actor's filmography sometimes and see, they haven't booked a role since 2020, and then you remember what happened to the industry and the world.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, not everybody could recover from that destruction, know, and from those jobs getting killed and everything. So that's a different thing. But yeah, Robert Downey Jr. would be one of them that I would have a little bit of like I'm a child again. That would really probably shock me. Man, we gotta get you to meet Steve Martin. We gotta get you one of his business cards.
There's a lot of people run into him places. Runyon and all those things. And I think I know near Santa Barbara where he lives, and I stop there sometimes on my way home. There's a deli, and I'm like, what if I run into him there? But for me, because I'm a sports guy, I think there's a lot more sports folks I'd like to meet, or it'd be crazy to meet. And I know some like I'm a big Don Mattingly guy, and like I have a friend, John Kaiser, whose dad was a major league umpire. A lot of you know Kaiser from the Schmoedown. And like he has Don Mattingly's phone number. Like he showed it to me. He called him once in front of me, and I was like, and I don't want to get on the phone with him. I don't want to get on the phone with him. I can't. I'm nearly 50, and I will be like Donnie baseball. So
sports wise, I mean, it would just be wrestlers. I don't know if there's a wrestler at this point that would. Because again, so many of them I know too much about them.
And I've been around a lot of wrestling legends too at the Cauliflower Alley Club, and it's a special kind of sad sometimes.
I think John Cena, because I was a C Nation kid. I had my spinning belt.
Sure.
I had my jorts. He was larger than life and everything, and now he's an actor, and it's like. I think maybe the sweet spot for me to meet him would have been like when I was in high school. Because high school, I had nostalgia about being a Cena kid, but I was still a kid.
You're still a kid.
And now I have nostalgia about being a Cena kid, and I'm still an adult. And I'm an adult. So that's,
I forget I've met Carrie Fisher. I sometimes forget that.
Didn't you do a panel with her?
I hosted a co-hosted, unfortunately, a panel. And she was, unfortunately, a couple months before she passed. And she was great. She was warm. She was wonderful. Professional with us, it wasn't like we became lifelong friends, but I'll never forget her first words to me. I need to change my pants. And I had to say, I don't work here, so let me find someone for you who can take you to a room where you can do that.
I have never, I know you have, and obviously you know the family as well. I've never met Mark Hamill. I've been at conventions that he's been at, and I've never paid to meet him, but Mark would be one of those ones too that I think would strike that little chord, because I wish I had it. But when I was in kindergarten, this is one of the quintessential Alden stories in my mind anyway, that I think says a lot about me. When we were in kindergarten, they asked us to have a composition book and to do journal entries every day based on a certain prompt. And obviously this is kindergarten, so it's like, it's going to be 1-word answers, 2-word answers, whatever. And they asked us to write like who your hero is, like, or who's a great hero. And people wrote like astronauts and like firefighters. A few people wrote their, my dad and things like that. And I think I saw someone write their dad, who was like a police officer. And I was already conscious of the fact that I didn't have a dad. I didn't understand the history of why, but I knew I didn't, obviously. And so I was like, who do I have? And I wrote Mark Hamill. And then my kindergarten teacher asked me who that was. And I said, Well, he's the actor who plays Luke Skywalker, but he also voices Wolverine in my X-Men GameCube game. Because once I saw on the back of the box that it was Mark Hamill, or maybe in the game credits, that blew my mind because I didn't realize that you could play more than one part.
Yeah, actors had one role. Yeah, as a kid.
Yeah, I was like, what? You could be both? Yeah. And so I was like, well, he's got to be the greatest actor of all time. Clearly, if he's Luke Skywalker and Wolverine. I didn't even know about the Joker yet, which probably would have broke my brain even more. So yeah, Mark was one of the first things I ever put out there into the universe as being important. And his Wolverine is hysterical because he's doing the most gravelly shit that he could possibly muster.
I've walked past him. He's walked past me. But it's Nathan's dad. I haven't been invited over the house. Yeah. It's just Nathan's dad. Yeah.
That's one. Okay. If anybody else has people that would intimidate them, would you want to meet? We're gonna wrap up soon. Got a couple more things written down here.
Yeah. I want to know what else you got. We went on a tangent. I love it.
This note, I was clearly stoned when I wrote this. It says Lucky Charms, 3 question marks. And thankfully I remember what I was thinking when I wrote it, which was I was eating a bowl of Lucky Charms the other night. And I had 2 thoughts. My first thought was, for my fellow Lucky Charms heads, are they putting more rainbows in there than they used to? It was a very rainbow heavy bowl. There was more rainbow marshmallows than any other marshmallow.
Lucky Charms has gone woke, man.
As woke charms, wokey charms.
Wokey
and then
charms,
I was thinking about it, the reason I wrote it down is I said, I wonder if Ken eats Lucky Charms or if that is just our age group thing.
No, God, no. I love Lucky Charms. Of the junk cereals, Lucky Charms is high on the list. Apple Jacks, Lucky Charms, occasionally Fruity Pebbles. I just like the way it just kind of all melts into one kind of milky, sugary goodness. Classic Honey Nut Cheerios, and then I drizzle honey on it. That's currently what I have. I have a cereal problem, so I have to stop unless I gain weight or add diabetes to my life. So when I moved to LA, that was like I'm on my own, and this is kind of cheap to buy a big box of cereal. Now it's not anymore. But Honey Nut Cheerios was there, and then Cookie Crisp. Big fan of Cookie Crisp.
Oh yeah, Cookie Crisp, as they say.
Cookie Crisp, yes.
Steve, holy, oh no! Steve says it's a thing on the box, which is that
more rainbows.
One, I don't pay attention. Clearly,
you just pour.
And he's going to check on his box. Thank you, Steve. Crave is an insane soda cereal, says Tully Quinn. That's true.
Tully doesn't. He's not wrong. Tully's not wrong, but I haven't tried it yet. I mean, I trust Tully's opinion on food snacks. I haven't had Crave yet.
Crave, yeah, no, he's right. A cereal. I'm a fellow cereal enthusiast. If you and I were roommates, that would definitely be bad. It would be bad. We would have to have a serious cereal budget. You'd have to.
Okay, but we're not. Hold on now. We're not sharing food. Do you think we're sharing food if we're roommates?
No, we're not sharing. I'm saying that our proximity, our close proximity would
your
hinder.
Side, my side.
It would hinder all of your efforts at not eating cereal. Is what I mean.
Oh, I'd see you chowing down. I'd be like,
because you'd be like, oh, then I'm trying to cut down on cereal, and I'd be like, I'm not. I'd be there with my Fruity Pebbles, S tier. That's the GOAT. Fruity Pebbles, I love.
Okay.
I love Pops. I love Honey Bunches of Oats, specifically the honey roasted.
Don't bring me that almond cereal. That's a good cereal.
Don't bring me almonds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All the check Discord DMs. This is serious. The Lucky Charms is serious.
Wow.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch clears. Yeah.
Yep.
I agree with that too.
The
milk of a Cinnamon Toast Crunch bowl, that's special. That means something to me.
The truth is, most of them work. You know what I mean? Most of these cereals work. They're designed to work. So you could put any cereal in front of me. I currently, I was at my outlet store and they had mini boxes, not mini, but maybe this big mini boxes of Captain Crunch and regular. And I was like, $1.99. I'm going to buy 2 just because. I finished in 2 sittings. the first box, and I love Captain Crunch, except for that weird film that's then left in your mouth afterwards.
Yeah.
Giggity. But you can't go wrong with cereals. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. No,
unless you're Brady, who chooses mini wheats.
No, mini wheats are good. I'm pro mini wheats.
Actually, I'm
pro mini wheats.
Because you know why? I throw honey on it. Honey, just drizzling some honey on a bowl of cereal, probably my favorite vice.
That's nice. I never thought of that. How does the honey?
No, it's not wrong, by the way. Cereal's much bigger in the U.S. than the rest of the world. We've definitely cornered the market on shitty cereals for your food for your breakfast. What's your question about honey?
I was going to say, how does the honey like coalesce with the milk?
It doesn't. It goes to the bottom like the Titanic, and it sits there. And then when you're done and you finish your cereal and you slurp up your milk, you have spoonfuls of honey, sugar, milk, like just a oil sludge on the bottom of your cereal ocean, and it's divine. It's
incredible.
Divine.
Sounds awesome. Steve, they're making me do like some 2-factor for my Discord, but it's connected to my old work email, so you're just gonna have to blue sky me, man. I'm sorry.
Look who's old now? Who's old now, Cuomo?
Oh no, it happened. When I get hit with an old man moment, it's brutal. I
can't log into my thing here. I'm gonna write a letter to Discord.
But here's the thing: is that not logging into that Discord, like I might never get into that Discord because it has my iHeartMedia email.
Oh,
so
you're gonna start all over.
So I might just have to get into Discord for.
But how do you play? You play the video games on the Discord. Tucka.
This is the first time that's happened.
Oh,
right now, live is the first time that's happened. So I might.
Breaking news: Alden Diaz locked out of his Discord.
I can't get into my Discord that I don't use. That I'm never in. I'm in every Discord that all of you degenerates are in. I'm in the Ken Discord. I'm in the Force Center Discord. I'm just never actually talking to anyone.
Okay. So Steve sent it to my Discord.
Okay.
Let's see if I can do this here. All right. We're gonna do some producing on the fly here. Bear with me. It's not gonna be formatted correctly. Okay. God damn it. Not Steve in this moment. He's on the fly. But if you all send me something, goddamn format it right. 1920 by 1080. Jesus fucking Christ, some of you.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. There it is.
Oh my goodness.
Jumbo rainbows. Double the good, buddy.
That's what it is. Look at that gay leprechaun with his big rainbow. Serving woke breakfast.
That is a pretty jubilant little leprechaun.
That leprechaun, I feel.
Yep. I feel like that
whelmed by his career. I feel whelmed, but he's not.
It's a different leprechaun.
Tier. What do you? Who's your favorite of the mascots?
Probably the Honey Nut Cheerio bee. Okay, but this is a differently designed leprechaun. This is updated.
I feel like that he's looked like that for at least my life.
Really? Okay. I have to be honest, I haven't stared at a box in a while.
Maybe minor. I obviously didn't look at the front of my box at all.
No, Steve, hold on, time out. Steve, I said not you. You're doing this on the fly. You're exempt from my rage on people not sending me things formatted right.
The frog from
Ooh, digging the frog from Honey Smacks. Oh, fuck, Honey Smacks. See, leave it to Laser Bowl to share a cereal that he only had like 5 options in the 60s. And Honey Smacks is a fine cereal with a good logo, mascot. I don't know.
Mascot, yeah, I got a company mascot. Yeah, he's cereal has some strong. I like Count Chocula. He's great. He's cool. Yeah. I mean, the captain from Captain Crunch, who apparently has like a whole history, and like actual like lore.
Speaking of gay leprechauns, but
the captain he's in the Navy.
In the Navy. This is great. What's else on your list here before we wrap up? What else you got? That was great. Lucky Charms.
This might be the thing that we have to punt to a future episode, but we can open it up and tease it. And then maybe we do our homework, we come back and we give answers. Maybe we'll do that. I wrote down the words rom-com Rushmore, which is sort of self-explanatory, where I thought,
Yeah.
what are the best rom-coms? Because I feel like for a while it was a dead art form.
Oh.
Now they're coming back. Now there's more.
Yeah. I misunderstood you. I misunderstood you, Alden. I thought you were trying to pitch me a Wes Anderson rom-com in the style of Rushmore.
Oh, but also yes.
Also, yes.
No, but also yes. We could write that.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
And no one say Moonrise Kingdom or Sunrise Kingdom or the hell, it's good. I like it, but it's not the one I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think it was because of Grosse Point Blank. Maybe it was because something else that I watched. But I was like, man, Grosse Point Blank it's a good rom-com. There's an art to it. Laserball with the very clever and also accurate Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back and Solo do somewhat qualify. When Harry Met Sally, I know is a favorite of yours and of many people.
It's number one. It's number one on my list. Yeah. Yeah.
Raiders. Look at all you nerds coming in with your Empire Raiders. It's like when you guys are the people that like when Disney bought Lucasfilm, we're like, Leia's my favorite Disney princess. I'm the first one to ever make this joke.
Is that kind of count? My response to that is the same as my response to puns and wordplay. Where I just go, all right. And I just keep going on. Yeah. I just keep going, getting a turkey leg. Actually, I always say turkey leg. I've never had a Disney turkey leg. Never had.
Really?
Never had one.
That shocks me because
I reference it all the time.
Because you reference it, but also because it's like I see that being like an instinctive choice for you if you were there. Like that seems like something that you would go for.
I can't. I don't. This gets into Steve's going to be inflamed here. I don't like bone-in wings. I only like tenders and nuggets. I don't like bones. So the turkey leg is a ham hock. It is just this meat on bone Viking like a meat, and you want me to do that in public?
Yeah.
Like I don't even do that with the lights on at home. Like no. So
that's true. People don't. I'm so glad you said this. People don't spend enough time thinking about your aesthetic while eating, drinking, doing an activity. There's in-home meals, but also it's like, when you're out there, you got to think about. I'm not saying you need to be like, this is a salad fork, not
right. Yeah. We're not Charles Worthington Mountbatten Ashby II.
Certainly not. Of the Mountbatten Ashbys, of course.
Yes. We're not the Maddington Gunners of UK here.
I don't ever want to do this in public.
No, you're right.
I don't ever want to do that. I want to look like I want to look cool. I want to look cool at all times. I'm not a Disney adult.
Yeah, it's chimichanga, because they have chimichangas as an options at carts. That's easy. You can put the whole thing in your mouth if you want. Giggity. Now, but see, you're right. You don't think about the aesthetic. I am a messy eater. I will make fun of myself a lot for being a messy eater. But like an ice cream cone, it's a mess, man. I am working the tip and sucking the shaft on that ice cream cone, and it is not a good thing. It is not a good thing. And I was at Disneyland with my friend. This is like over 8 years ago, and we're in line at the Radiator Springs, and we're both having an ice cream cone. And she looks at me, and she's just like, "How is this possible? Like, look at mine. Look at mine. Not a drip on my hand. Your hand. I had all the ice cream here. We're under the same sun, Alden. We're under the same sun, and." And then I only had one napkin. So you ever do the thing where you over wipe with the napkin and the napkin's almost translucent because it got too much food on it? Yeah. And I have the beard and it's all, so I can't even eat ice cream cones in public.
Eating an ice cream cone with a beard is a pain that I will never know, being beardless, but I can imagine that it is extremely annoying. That sounds like something that I would hate.
In public. But at home, you have to, like, I've been making chicken wings because I accidentally bought bone-in wings. Thanks, Steve. And I've been cooking them up and putting some nice Buffalo Trace barbecue sauce on them, a little whiskey tinge. Great. So I sit there in a white tank top, Alden. I turn on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I just go to town on those wings, and everything is on my shirt. I have two white tank tops in my sink in the garage soaking right now. Wow. And I just go, yeah, this is what we're going to do. So I can't do that in public.
A white tank with just like a single sauce stain while Charlie Day is babbling in the background. Like you are creating such a such a white man's environment with the picture that you are painting. This is one of the whitest things I've ever heard.
I looked like I just murdered Dexter. Like it was just all over. Steve's not catching strays. Steve knows what he did with his bone-in wing stuff.
He brings up an interesting point, though. I wish it was more socially acceptable for adults to use bibs. Yeah, I mean, part of the problem, I think, is the infantilizing language. Like,
bib.
We create language for little kids. I had this conversation the other day with a friend of mine about baby pacifiers, how everybody calls them different things, and different cultures have different names for them and stuff. When I was a kid, we called a pacifier a binky. And I think it's what they call them on Rugrats, which is probably where we picked it up. But bib and binky sound like they're from the same family. So it's like adults, I think they're above it. But if you called that shit like Saw Shield, you know, and you sold it in camo, like
I think this is Alden. You just stumbled onto something we need to mass market and sell through some kind of griftery Amazon store. The Saw Shield, now in camo. Eat like the man you are. Like that's the marketing.
Yeah.
Millionaires. What are we doing?
Stop worrying about your bitch wife saying it's gonna get on the couch. It doesn't matter.
Saw Shield. Protect your Under Armour shirt with this Saw Shield. Yep.
You can't get barbecue sauce on the Tap Out logo if it's covered by Saw Shield.
Yes.
On the Salt Life logo.
Don't eat wings like you're woke. Get your face in there and eat with wild abandon like the caveman you are. Yes.
If you enjoy the Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, then you will probably also enjoy Saw Shield. We could get like, I don't know, who's an annoying Republican? I don't know.
Look,
we can get
King's Four Cal says hunters in Tennessee would buy this. Jed Muro says, market this right this minute. Muro, we need some capital. You got any capital laying around? You want to invest? We just got to get them made. You sell them on an Amazon griftery Amazon store. We'll sell them on TikTok. We'll go viral on TikTok. You know, that's what you do, right? You just go viral on TikTok. This could be a community funded.
We're also casting for the commercial. So if you want to play the Sydney Sweeney type or the stereotypical my bitch wife, then you could play either of those roles too if you want. By the way, can I say something on this show about Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah.
I feel like my chains have been broken. I feel liberated. I feel lifted up. I feel freed. I feel like I'm running like a cow amongst fresh pastures because I can finally, with the moral high ground, say that she's a fucking terrible actor. I'm
You're
so
finally
happy.
free to say it.
I'm
you had to
so
play nice
happy.
before. Okay.
Because if you know, I want to assume the best of everybody, and I don't want to come off like anti somebody's work. Like I'm very careful about that kind of thing, right? I make a really concerted effort to not bash things I don't like. My letterbox reviews of things I don't like are usually like very tame. I'll just say things like it didn't work for me, you know, like whatever. But now that I know that you not only are that, but that you registered for that in last year, amidst, you know, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. You sucked in that movie you did, The Voyeurs. You sucked in Anyone But You, and you sucked in Immaculate. I tried 3 times with her.
You're
very
free.
bad.
You're free.
Bad. And now I can say that, and I have to maintain the moral high ground. Because, you know, if she had like great opinions, then I would never say that she was bad, because I don't want to decry somebody, you know, standing for the right thing.
Right.
You know, so I'm free now. I of course am the oppressed one here.
I've never seen her in anything other than clips for those commercials, so I'm going to take your word on it. I trust you.
She's not invited to Saw Shield, although she probably would buy a Sauce Shield for everybody in her family.
Oh, no. We're going to make her the
Sauce Shield
spokesperson. She's the spokesperson of Sauce Shield.
Maybe we can get the Kelseys to do Sauce Shield as the next big reveal on their podcast.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
But
the problem is they're too nice. They have a little bit too much of that nicety to them that they're not the target demographic. But they could sell it for us.
That's true. Maybe they can send an email. Is there like an inner NFL email chain? They can get Harrison Butker to pick one up.
Yeah.
And then we can really.
They can just pass it along in the locker room. There we go. Yeah. Love it. We solved it. We solved our future. I might almost be homeless, but I'm going to sell Sauce Shields.
Broadcasting, who cares, man? Broadcasting sucks. This business is dead. We're moving on. We're entrepreneurs now. We're moving on. We're on to the next thing. Why have art? I feel like I'm in that movie Envy with Jack Black where they do the vaporize, and like that's
yes.
him and Ben Stiller.
Yes.
Producer Steve says he needs 5%. I think that's fair.
Oh yeah, no, Steve. Fair. Oh, Steve's in. Oh, wait, absolutely. No, this is a team effort.
Hey, hold on. This is it. We just connected the whole show together. We're going to Sauce Shield's gonna hit, and then Steve's gonna take 5, but then a few years from now, Steve's gonna sue us, and that's gonna be our friend group legal battle. He's gonna say 5 was not enough.
I created,
we didn't have a proper negotiation. I mentioned the bibs and everything.
Yep.
And that's gonna be awesome.
That's amazing. It all comes together.
Steve's gonna have like long gray hair when we're in court.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
And we're all gonna live in rent-controlled apartments. It's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be wonderful.
Fantastic.
Well, we've done it. We've done a full episode. I love it. From the serious stuff, personal opinions, to facts about cereal and Sauce Shields. We did it all.
Sauce Shield.
Thanks for watching, everybody. You get the audio version if you want to take us with you on the Knapsack Network. Listen there. We'll be back next week. That's all I got. Oh, check out my comedy clips. If you see them on a platform of choosing, please interact with them. You don't need to tag Amelia Clark. That someone just did. I just got a notification that someone tagged her. God bless it. But please help interact and like this video too. Interact with this and get some more clips out of this show too. I'm about 2 weeks behind on clips, but I'm trying. Everybody.
You're a mortal man.
That's my final words. That's my final words. What's your final words?
Amelia Clark, Sauce Shield campaign. It's happening. That's my final thought. Everybody have a great weekend. Superman is available now on digital. I had nothing to do with the movie, but I will be watching it.
I think I might do that over lunch. All right, we'll see you. Bye.